So the description of this vegetable says, unique bright green radish from northern China with sweet flavor, known in Beijing as a fruit radish. The sweet roots are crisp and sweet. Considered a tasty fruit substitute similar in texture and taste to pear. That sounds delicious, don't it? Northern Chinese winters are notoriously harsh. These long cylindrical radishes sweeten up when exposed to frost. This variety is traditionally offered as a sliced fresh fruit at Beijing tea parties in wintertime. The opulent tea parties are thrown to celebrate the famous Beijing opera. We also love this super sweet root as a wintertime snack. Grows well only in cool weather and is great for a fall planting only. Okay, only fall planting. Plant about 50 to 60 days before frost in the late summer. Beautiful green goodness. What a beautiful sounding radish to grow, right? It's the Shawo fruit radish. It's green. Okay, I'm not telling you we're the seed company. This is not about the seed company, but you have to be aware that these romanticized descriptions on vegetables you may not exactly get those same results. Okay, and that's what we want to talk about today. Is that the fall garden is wonderful and it's great and can be super productive and a very simple garden to grow. That sounds wonderful, right? Yeah, it does. It's just not a whole lot of effort, not a whole lot of time involved in growing this food. But what we do want to caution you on is that, like, a lot of the things you can grow in the fall, people don't really like. Like, I enjoy kale, okay? So a ragged jack kale typically, so you can't really find that except for one seed company in particular, typically. And it is different than other red Russian kales. But I like spinach and we like lettuce. I don't really like cabbage. I've tried eating it and I keep wanting to try to grow it, and Angela's like, you know what, Jason, you don't like cabbage. Let's not try to grow cabbage. You don't really like it, and we don't really use it that much. So why are we growing it? It's a good point. These random radishes that you can find that sound really good. We've grown some of them before. Like rat tail radish. Angela Kay just despised it, hated it, and we had a bunch of them and we couldn't use them because we wasn't no good for us. Okay, for us, it wasn't very good for us. So be careful, like on what you're wanting to plant here in the fall garden. There's a lot of things that are good and beneficial. There's a lot of things that stink. Okay. Like, for instance, that Shawo fruit radish, or that green radish there that I was talking about, it says you plant it 50 to 60 days before your first frost, and that the ideal temperatures are 50 to 75 degrees. Well, here in Southwest Ohio, we garden in Zone 6B. 50 to 60 days before our first frost, we could still be 90 degrees. Okay, that's very possible. And you don't necessarily know when your first frost is going to be. Like, it's supposed to be around October, like late teens to 20, typically. But typically hasn't happened in 4 years. That's real. So if you plant a radish that's supposed to be sweet 2 months before that, and the seeds sprout and the plant is dealing with 85 to 90 degree temperatures and high humidity, the radish is not going to be sweet. Okay, we don't. Now, fortunately for these seed companies, they can grow in temperature controlled climates in high tunnels and greenhouses, and they're never going to have that issue. Most folks who are doing backyard gardening ain't dealing with that, right? You have real life situations and real life weather that you're having to handle. You put a radish in that, and you're going to get a very hot, spicy radish. Now, if that's what you want to grow, more power to you, that's fine. But you're not going to get what that romanticized description is telling you, because you're not dealing with the same soil conditions, right? Like, really, truly, here it's early August. People are going to tell you to start planting your fall garden now. Well, my fall garden is going to consist of spinach and lettuce, a lot of it. It's too hot for spinach and lettuce right now. It just is. Like, you don't plant, it was 90 degrees yesterday. You don't plant spinach and lettuce when it's 90 degrees outside. Now, if you want to plant them indoors, which we very well could do that, and then grow them under some grow lights and keep them in a temperature controlled environment, we could. And we could have plants that were nice and beautiful, and plant them here in maybe a month, which it still could be 90 degrees in September. You know, and have a better shot at getting a good plant and a good bit of lettuce and spinach. We could. Now we very well could. Okay, we just don't do that here. Okay, we'll plant our spring stuff, you know, our summer stuff early inside and do it that way, but we just don't do that here. And I want to warn people, warn all you guys watching this video to be careful, to not waste your time and money on planting things in the fall garden that you simply aren't gonna like, aren't gonna use, and don't want. Okay, I mean, that's really what we're talking about here, is that, like, if there's things that you don't like most brassicas, I just simply don't eat. Okay, I do eat some kale, like I said, but I want to like broccoli and cabbage, because if we can grow it, I want to eat it. I want to eat it. What if we grow it and I don't like it? And then Angela's the only one eating it, and she's barely eating it because she doesn't eat that much. We're gonna plant 8 heads of cabbage for what? You know? So we're gonna plant, you know, 20 plants of broccoli. Well, if they all produce, I would probably eat it, but like, we don't eat that much broccoli. So it's one of these things that, like, plant what you're gonna eat. Make sure you're gonna eat it. Now look, if you just want to garden and grow things to see what kind of unique product you can get, that's a lot of fun. That's a whole lot of fun. But seeds aren't cheap anymore, right? And fertilizers aren't cheap anymore. If you gotta buy a fresh bag of soil, that's not cheap anymore. I'm just warning you, hey, don't waste your time and money on something you ain't gonna eat. Right? But know what you're gonna eat. Like New Zealand spinach. We bought some New Zealand spinach one time because, oh, it's so sweet, it's supple, it's so good. It was disgusting. It was not good. I didn't like the texture, and the flavor really stunk too, to be honest with you. Angela Kay said it tasted like soap. So, I mean, that was New Zealand spinach. I like spinach, okay? But it gave us a weird texture, a weird flavor. It wasn't what we wanted to grow. So sometimes, now look, this going to sound silly from somebody doing YouTube videos, but sometimes your favorite YouTuber can lead you astray. Like, we try to be very transparent on what we're talking about and why we love what we love and what you might love about it. But I want you to make these decisions for yourself as well, and understand that just because your favorite YouTuber likes something doesn't mean you're going to like it. Understand that, like, I'm going to tell you, hey, growing carrots is wonderful. You should grow carrots right now. You should be planting carrot seeds right now if you're in zone 6B or 7, anything. You're plant carrot seeds right now, because you're going to get some carrots. And fresh carrots are delicious, absolutely wonderful, and super, super usable, like outstanding. If you don't like carrots, don't grow carrots. If you like carrots, you should do it. But you know if you like carrots or not, right? I mean, it's very simple. We've kind of had changing plans on some of the things we're doing, and so some of the beds that we had, we were gonna try to get some late squash in, we just didn't get to. Okay, so we bought a bunch of pea seeds. I am bound and stinking determined to be able to plant a bunch of sugar snap peas and shell peas, English peas, and grow a bunch of peas, because we like peas around here. Honestly, like we could use them in all sorts of things. Sugar snap peas, eat them fresh, raw, just eat them sauteed together. It wouldn't matter. I love them, stinking love them, absolutely love them. And so we want to grow a bunch of them. We're bound and determined to, so I bought a bunch of more seeds, trying to get them in, right? Hopefully the sugar snap peas will be here this weekend. I can plant them over here. But, like, I like them. Angela Kay likes them. We can use them. We use the peas in all sorts of things. So we want to plant them and grow them. That's not a waste of our time and money. And be very aware to make sure that you're planting something that actually has time to produce. Like, make sure that you're planting, if it's going to be something that's going to take, you know, a couple months to produce, make sure that it can handle some cool weather. Make sure it likes cool weather, right? That's the reason we're talking about fall garden stuff here, is cabbage, broccoli, kale, lettuce, spinach, carrots, beets, honestly. Potatoes, you can plant potatoes right now, especially if you're in zone 7 or less. Plant some potatoes right now, and even if you're in 6B, you can plant some right now. And you get what you get. If it gets frosty and cold on them and the plants freeze out and die, you're probably still have some small potatoes in there, right? And it's gonna be fine. So like you could even do that right now, because root crops can handle this cold. Now don't plant sweet potatoes right now, right? Don't do those things. But like, and don't plant tomatoes right now if you're in unless you're in the deep south and you can grow food into January and all year round, whatever. Hey, go ahead then, who cares? But some of those things just simply don't do right now. But have fun and do things. I want to encourage everybody to grow food and do it in the fall, especially. Don't waste your time and your space. But I don't want you to waste your time and money either. All right, but we want to be very clear and very transparent. Don't waste your time and money on things you ain't thinking gonna eat. If you're gonna eat it, grow it. Please do it, absolutely. But if you ain't gonna like it, if you don't know if you like cabbage or not, you can try to grow a couple heads. If you don't know if you like broccoli or not, try to grow a couple plants. But don't plant 100 of them thinking you're gonna eat it all, and all of a sudden I don't like it. What am I supposed to do with it, right? So be careful on that. But hey, do grow food in this fall. We thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.